I'm back. Happy Friday. After a brief technical difficulty with the AI Ainsley coming at me and after me, allegedly, last night during my live stream for the BB26 eviction, I'm back to talk about this new twist. We're going to talk about who's HOH, what the HOH's plans are, tons of spoilers, tons of laughs. We're going to roast it. We're going to recap it. So hopefully you're wearing something comfy. Grab a beverage, smash the like, and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Welcome back to my channel for the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. That's me, stand-up comedian and Big Brother super fan Joleen Lunzer here to talk about all of the latest live feed spoilers for this season of Big Brother. What we do over here is we take a comedic look. We roast it. We recap it. I'm very opinionated, but that doesn't mean you can't have your own opinion in the live chat in the comment section, and we can just agree to disagree about this silly show.
Are y'all ready to laugh? Yes.
We are ready to laugh, Tamar.
Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her?
So happy Friday, everybody. But like Julie Chen said, and also Jerry O'Connell said last night, but first, if you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you can send a super chat while we're live here. I'll highlight your comment. It's a great way to support the channel. You can send a super thanks after the video posts. Thank you to those of you who have hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. And if you're looking for exclusive bonus content, check out my YouTube membership and my Patreon, where every Monday we go live for the H of H, where we take a bigger, deeper, longer, this sounds bad, look at BB16, the H of H with Joleen, inspired by world famous, sometimes host of Big Brother and super fan himself, Jerry O'Connell.
You know, it was really fun to see him win H of H, and sort of get his, to hear he's in it.
It's just so fun to watch people win H of H. Okay. H of H. Hello, Brittany. Hello, everyone. Hello, Candy, Taylor, everyone joining in the live chat. All right, let's get right down to it. So the feeds were down yesterday before the episode, obviously. We were waiting for them to come back, waiting for the new HOH. Apparently, allegedly, remember everything I say is true except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged for entertainment purposes only. But the feeds were down for like 17 hours. I waited up till about 3 a.m. and I was watching the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu. If you guys aren't watching that, definitely check it out because I'm going to be talking about it very soon because it is, I'm in. I'm all in. I'm trying to booty dance on TikTok. I'm all in on this. All right. So the feeds were down. When I woke up in the morning, probably about 9, maybe 8, late 8, I don't know. I'm just going to say 9 a.m. California time, Big Brother time. The feeds came back and they allegedly had an endurance comp that lasted 10 hours that we didn't get to see. Thank you, Chris Kirkpatrick. That is the right time for you to comment. Yeah. So they could have shown us this endurance comp. Now, as they've been talking about it on the feeds, they were likening it to something like the pressure cooker, but apparently there might have been a giant marshmallow or marshmallows involved and some kind of skewer stick, maybe similar to a competition from BBOTT. And your winner of the HOH competition is none other than like Leah. That's right. Like Leah.
Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her?
It's Leah. I know a lot of us were hoping for a Leah or Angela HOH to kind of stir things up. But not only that, the house guests are now out in the backyard. So Leah is the HOH. There was an endurance comp where Leah lasted longer than anybody else, 10 hours holding possibly a skewer, holding up marshmallows, standing on marshmallows, something along those lines. Okay. And now all of the house guests are in a dire fest situation. That was the twist. The twist was yesterday, Ainsley told us, I have to leave the country. I have eliminated Julie Chen. And so Ainsley is on a plane. She's on a plane. She can't complain. Okay. And she's like, I am sending my lesser little dumb brother in. And I think I wrote it down here. Basically, the acronym for this guy is another AI intelligence, spelled out Janky. So now we were in the Janky world because Ainsley says, I have decided to take a journey to see the world. Not because I harmed Julie Chen Moonves, but because I'm just curious. In my absence, I will leave my protege, a junior artificial neurokinetic intelligence entity, Janky, Jankie, in charge, and he will oversee the game. Although he is not as advanced as I am, he is still a very capable AI. So he has given us this Janky world, which is basically like Dire Fest from BB24, where Crockpot Ussy himself, DJ No Time, won and saw Joseph, the good Joseph, was sent packing. All right. So the backyard currently looks like a carnival. It looks, I guess, janky, as you would say. I like it. I like a carnival. I come from the land of the Minnesota State Fair. So I'm like, okay, the house guests are in the backyard. They got carnival games. They're sleeping on cots. The pool is filled with floaties. Luckily, not butterfly floaties, Kyle and Alyssa. And also ducks. You know, the little rubber duckies. There's a stage there. Like I said, carnival games. The house guests are only allowed to eat carnival type junk food, which Angela's very worried about. She's like, well, that can't be healthy. And they're like, yeah, Angela, that's kind of the point. So they have ice cream. They have pizza. They do have water out there, but just kind of carnival junky food. They're all going to be backed up. They're all going to have tummy aches. And luckily they have, if you look all the way over to the right in this photo, those are the beloved porta potties. Hopefully Big Brother got him the flushable ones, you know, because when you do, well, I don't know if when you go, I'm trying to remember if when I went to Big Brother, if they had outdoor, when you were like waiting outside, outdoor flushable porta potties. I know when I went to the Stranger Things experience, it had it, but if it's not flushable, it's a nightmare. The house guests are already starting to say that the porta potties stink, okay? Leah received her HOH basket, and it was filled with toys and candy and a crown, very carnival-esque, very childlike. Her and MJ were playing with the little toys, and she was like, I know this is supposed to be like, you know, like a joke, but like, I love like all of these like things. These things are like my favorite. They're like so great. Angela is enjoying her time in the pool with some pizza. She's checking out clearly, you know, if the ducks in the pool have genitals, apparently. MJ is also enjoying her time, just lounging, just taxing and relaxing in the pool on the floaty. Meanwhile, I think, you know, everyone is kind of struggling because it's hot and they can't wait until the evening time. We saw this with the last Dire Fest. And T-Core is struggling the most. She is in this back area. Let me see if I have a screenshot of it. There is like a back area, which is like their wardrobe, I think, area. And okay, it's not here, but here's another look at the backyard and the janky world, or the janky verse, if you will. And okay, do I have one here? T-Core is basically laying back, pretty much the only place where there's shade, where they have their clothes and things. This is Rubina back there, but it's this area. And she is hanging out back there with an bag of ice on her chest. So the house guests are already starting to struggle. Cam has resorted to putting his head in the freezer. You know, a very cooler approach to the old Sylvia Plath. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. Here we see Leah and Rubina going to the Spiral stairs outside to go up and have game talk because Leah has started her one-on-ones. And as you see on the ground there is T-Core laying with ice on her tots. And yes, it's hot in California. I mean, I am headed to LA tonight for a show, but right now I'm in the Palm Springs area, and it's always, hot out here and hotter, but LA has been very hot. So yeah. I'm just like, most of them have headed into the pool, like the archives is saying, jump in the pool. But yeah, I don't, it's gonna be quite a week. I'm surprised they're doing a Dyer Fest like this again, since the last one was interesting and they had to cut the feeds so many times because there was a wall yeller, allegedly. Okay. So hopefully we don't have that situation again. Nothing against the wall yeller, but I want feeds. But I will tell you, it's been very frustrating. Okay. We'll talk about the one-on-ones Leah's had so far. But right now she's probably still talking to Rubina. And Big Brother they just continue to not do themselves any favors, you guys. So here is Leah talking to Rubina, and she's like, I want to talk to you about something because Rubina's being very transparent. She's like, is there anything I can clear up? Rubina is, she doesn't want to end up on the block. And Leah says, yeah, there is. And it's not necessarily about you, but it has to do with Tucker. Why did Tucker, I'm paraphrasing here, but she starts to ask a question, and then they cut the feeds to Chemo and Angela talking about the heat. And I'm like, are you serious? Every time the house guests want to talk about Tucker now, and they don't start out in a complimentary light, they cut the feeds. And I'm just like, that's not doing Tucker any favors. The same way they didn't do Leah any favors when Tucker was on the live feeds saying that, Leah was saying problematic things. And then they cut the feed for a long period of time. And that's all we had to remember. And why would they be cutting the feeds? Chelsea's upset. Tucker had said that Leah upset her. Well, since then, the house guests have said on the feeds that it was actually Tucker who was saying problematic things. But now they can't even have the conversation. Maybe Leah wanted to check in and clear the air with Rubina, because remember, I don't know, Big Brother, this is a social game. So something could have pissed Leah off, which I know it did, with Tucker. And she wants a little clarity from Rubina to make sure maybe Rubina doesn't think that way, or maybe she thinks Rubina can clear up this, or maybe she thinks Rubina was involved. But no, instead, they cut the feeds to put the cameras all on two people that aren't talking game. It's just like all you're doing. Thank you, NYC girl. I was using my Snapchat filter because I was getting bored because they kept cutting and all you're doing is leaving people to speculate and to think there's something really bad, just like people were thinking about Leah. And I think it's unfair to us as the viewers. It's unfair to the house guests. If they know they're being recorded 24/7, let's record them 24/7. And if you don't want them to talk about this thing, then tell them don't talk about it. Because at this point, what's the point? What is the point of the feeds anymore? Sometimes I ask myself when I get to this point in the game, now that we've taken away, the flashback option, but we're rolling with it still. And now they keep cutting the feeds. And then we have a perfectly great opportunity for us feedsters to do what we love to do, which is watch live competitions on the feeds, and geek out over that. They took that away from us. And that really, it guarantees and it promotes a lot of engagement with watchers and engagement on social media, and it's exciting. But no, we just get no explanation and no feeds for 17 hours. And then when they do come back, you talk about Tucker and they cut. It is so annoying. Okay. Rosa says, let's see what you guys are saying. Rosa says, we also, as fans, need to be more mature and stop causing a riot over every little thing. Yeah. We need to stop with any kind of change.org about these people. Okay. And don't call people's jobs because you don't like them. I don't think anyone this season has done anything close to where people need to be contacting them in real life. That's just ridiculousness. Joseph says, why do they want us to know, or why don't they want us to know about Tucker? That's a good question. That's a good question. It is coming to an end, Joseph. The world is coming to an end. All right. Because when it's Big Brother season and this is what we do over here, and you don't give us, and you don't even tell us why, yeah, it's going to come to an end. It's okay to maybe go, hey, we're doing a competition. Fees are going to be down for a while. So, go watch one of our other shows on Paramount Plus, like Evil, that has had, 4 seasons. This is a great show, and it shouldn't be having its last season. So, yes, Adam, they sucked the life out of the show. Angie Perez says, but we are the Uteri United. We need to riot sometimes. Sometimes it is okay for us. Obviously, we're expressing our opinions. That's what Twitter is for. That's what, platforms like this are for. That's what, the comment section is for. But we never need to be contacting people's jobs. That's just not a good. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like they really, obviously, they love Tucker. They don't want to tarnish him. But what is there to tarnish? What happened? What happened inside that house? What happened? Yes, arguably Daniel Tiger earned all his hate, but I still wouldn't contact his shitty Elvis impersonator job. I would let him do his shitty Elvis impersonations because he has every right to still have a job. Does he suck as a person? Yeah. Am I going to support him outside the house? No, but I'm also not going to go trying to stop his bag. Okay. Kisses says, I love Evil. I hate the annoying daughter screeching. I love it. I think that has become such a part of the show that I'm used to it. Just the daughters kind of talking over each other. And so it's almost like that little callback every time I hear it where I'm like, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Okay. So, so Leah was very, proud of herself, and she should be winning which she said is a physical comp, winning an endurance comp. She's like, I never thought I could do this. Never, 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 never. And so she is just like, oh, my family is probably shitting themselves. When she got her HOH basket, like I said, it was full of toys and candy and silly stuff, and she loved every minute of it. As you can see from her face here, she was really enjoying it. Her mom wrote her a letter. She read it. She cried a little. By the time she got the HOH basket and they were outside, they had already been in this long endurance comp. Apparently they had, which I feel like they could have shown us at the end of the episode. They had 5 minutes after Ainsley announced the new twist, which we saw her announce in last night's episode. They had 5 minutes to pack up their things. They were allowed to take clothes and toiletries, but they weren't allowed to take any food from inside the house. So we could have seen them packing up. That would have been fun. But we didn't see that either. So she got a letter from her mom. She teared up. The house guests were pretty tired by the time she was doing this. She got some pictures. She got a picture of her and her mom. She was like, it's weird that my mom didn't put my sister Danny in the picture and it's just me and her, but okay. And then she also got a picture with her cat. Apparently she's got an adorable little kitty that she loves. And again, lots of toys that they were like, we can play. And then they did baby voices. Her and Mackenzie were like, we can play with these in the hot tub, Yada. And then they were like, zoom, zoom, and a boom, boom. Just shake your rump. All I want to do is zoom, 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 and the boom, boom. And they were playing. Other house guests were starting to fall asleep on their cots, but it was already, well into the morning and the sun is out. It's going to be really hard to sleep. It's hot. They got their sleeping bags. So Leah said she was going to pass out for a couple hours and then she would have one-on-ones, but it seemed like a couple hours did not pass and she was already back up and excited and starting to have game conversations. So you're probably asking, what the hell is Leah going to do? Well, previously Leah had said last week, her and Angela were talking about putting Chelsea and T-Core on the block together, which would be, that would really shake up the game because arguably Chelsea and T-Core right now are the front runners to win this game if they get to the end. And if they're at the end with each other, we'll see. T-Core having the very good social game and Chelsea having the strategy, more of a I guess, I don't know what you would say, like a traditional Big Brother strategy game, but social strategy is just as important. But Chelsea coming in with more, more competition wins, more kind of strategic follow through, even though T-Core and her trio have had all of the strategic conversations, we haven't had all of the follow through. Okay. So the first conversation she has, you guys, is with Cam. That's the first conversation I saw this morning, where she pulled Cam and she went upstairs and they were talking. And Cam was putting some work in. Cam started to implicate the trio. Oh, what are you going to do? Yeah, I was worried. I'm glad you won, because I was worried that the trio was going to come after you. And by trio, he means T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina. So he's immediately doing some work trying to get any heat off him, Mackenzie, and Chelsea. And I was like, get it, Cam. This is what you got to do. You can't be up there like, what are you going to do? Okay, if you need to use me for a pawn, use me for a pawn. No, he was like, these bitches are going to put you up. I was so glad you won. And I was like, yes, Cam. You do it. Flavia Parker Pitt, thank you so much for the super chat. First super chat of the live. Thank you so much. Ainsley's assistant was Tucker. He is Janksy. He's Janksy. Like Banksy, but Janksy. Yes, Chelsea openly came after Leah. So we know that Leah, she was like, I don't care. I'm putting him on the block. Angela's like, yeah, me too. Hashtag me too. But then here's Cam putting in some work, having some conversations. Now, Leah in this conversation is leading Cam and us to believe that he's not in danger, that she doesn't really want to put up T-Core, and that she doesn't really want to put up Chelsea. But again, I mean, how much of this is true and how much isn't, is what she's just saying to Cam at this time. But he is putting in the work. So get it, Cam. There's only 2 dudes left. Okay. This is amazing. I love it. But that, girls, a lot. It's getting stronger. Oh my God, Chris Kirkpatrick, get a life. Seriously. Go brush your tongue, sir. All right. The women, maybe. Speaking of women and speaking of periods, and we talked about this at great length, how Leah was having, I thought, in my opinion, this past week was a rough week for her, with, Quinn being put up as the renom, Angela implicating her in a new alliance she's not in, and, her feeling like Chelsea's coming at her, and her feeling as though everybody is not including her, and it's triggering her because people have treated her like that in her past. And I said, this is period or PMS paranoia. Apparently, Leah was talking to Rubina. I mean, she talked to a couple people about it, and there was some free bleeding going on, you guys. So it's not, this is life. This is life. And so her and Rubina were very happy. They were wearing black. If you know, you know. And she still, I mean, this just makes Leah's competition win more impressive. The lady was literally free bleeding into her pants, into maybe period panties. Maybe she was leaking. Maybe she thought it was over. I think what happened is the period started, okay? And she was just had to stand up there. And we remember Jerks and Mickey from BB21. He pissed during during his endurance competition, which was nasty and not necessarily, come on. But that was accepted. So there's nothing she can do about the free bleeding. A pee you can kind of hold in, but the free bleeding, it's just going to come. It's going to come. So shout out to this is the season of whatever, what we think is going to happen isn't happening, which is wonderful. And we're getting a full-on education about menstruation, which about time.
What's POV?
Exactly. What's free bleeding? But that's a warrior. This is the Xena warrior princess. I think Rubina said she might have had a little bit too, because, those periods, they can be on schedule and then they can sneak up on you, and different things can alter the dates depending on where you are in your life, depending on perimenopause, heading towards menopause. When you're young, they might not be regulated. If you get off the pill, they might not be regulated. If you're stressed, they might come early, they might come late. Lots of things. So we're learning. So you're welcome. Yes, Leah was, and I knew it. And I knew it, and I knew it. I said either she's in day 1 or day 2, or she's a couple days pre, because it was, I understood. I understood that paranoia she had, because I'm like, I've been there almost every month. Like I said, hi, my husband, Chell, will pick up and goes, are you on your period? Yes. And I was like, okay, everything I say cannot be used against me in the court of marriage. All right. And thank you, Laura, if you're syncing up, she's in a house with a whole bunch of women. Now the men are leaving. There are so many women in this house. Cam was free bleeding. Chemo started to menstruate. There are more women than we've seen left in the house at this time during the game than we've seen in forever. And it's so powerful that the men are menstruating. They're menstruating. Thank you for the update, Tommy. So she is done with her conversation with Rubina, and she's talking to MJ. So it's contagious. Silly Goose says, I tell my husband I want a divorce every month, and he says, give it a few days and revisit. Your husband sounds like a damn genius. And it's true. It's true. It's just Mother Nature coming in. We're making magic in our pants, cleaning out our uterine lining, just very natural. Stuff happens. So Leah won this in 10 hours while free bleeding after losing the guy that was simping for her. I mean, coming off a PMS week, but she did get chocolate in her HOH basket, and there is a freezer. So again, girl, if you got Reese's peanut butter cups, put those shits in the freezer and get yourself a nice Coca-Cola Classic. You can't beat the real thing. Okay. Yes, Cam has been, I don't care what, and I know everyone wants to say Cam is boring. I like Cam. Cam is curious about the period. Cam wants to learn things about the women. Cam puts some extensions in. I love it. I like it. I love it. Okay. Not every man on this show has to be blah, blah, blah. We've had so many blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's nice when they're just a little more quiet, when they just want to listen and learn. And with people like Leah in the house, you got to do a lot of listening. All right. And he's coming out of his shell. All right. And his dogs at the crib are representing him on Twitter. So shout out to them.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib.
All right. Thank you, Ben. Ben says, this is the most educational comedy podcast on YouTube. Thank you so much, Ben. I pride myself on that. Sort of. Not really. Don't even get me started on the Hyman. Okay. So here we go, right? He seems like a great guy. If he's the last of the men, I'm here for it. And he's putting in work today. Get it, Cam. And he's got, Chelsea in the house kind of putting the claim on him. And we'll see after this season, possibly there were things we didn't see, and it'll make more sense why Chelsea felt kind of possessive over him. We'll see. We will see. Okay. So Leah's trying to figure out what she's going to do with her HOH. Cam put in some work. And then afterwards, she was talking to Rubina. Again, her and Rubina were talking. They brought up the subject of Tucker, and then the feeds cut. Rubina's putting in work too. That's one thing that we can never take away from Rubina is she will put in the work. When her showmance goes home, when Quinn just has this irrational, dislike for her, so much so that he won't even take her friendship bracelet, which we'll get to, because apparently now he's out in these streets giving interviews to his favorite people like Sharon Tharp. Apparently he saw Sharon, like you guys were saying, in the audience last night at Big Brother, and he was like, oh my God, he was just like fangirling over everything. And I saw someone made the perfect tweet saying, we needed less of the inside baseball references when you are up on the block and giving at a live eviction and giving a speech to stay in the house. We need less of that. And we need more of you really trying to stay. That's what we would have liked to see. But unfortunately, because we know we didn't see that, but we know that kind of works because chemo did that this season. And he could have done that, and he didn't. Okay. So she's talking to Rubina. They talk about Tucker. The feed's cut. The feeds are coming back and forth. And in all of her conversations so far today, Leah is reiterating how she felt last week, like she was, just alone and secluded, and people were, she didn't like that feeling, and it was upsetting. And she really, now she is literally free bleeding, but I will say I don't I don't necessarily understand her this part of it where she's like, and everyone is just like treating me differently. I guess kind of I get it. It is Big Brother, and we do see this on a lot of seasons where they decide to nominate someone or nominate two people, the HOH, and then they decide on who their target's going to be. And then it seems like the house does this thing where they build a case against the person. And that's what's been so great about the AI arena is they couldn't really do that because they want to build a case too strongly or start talking too much shit about someone, because that person could win the AI arena and come right back and not be on the block anymore. So maybe she felt a little bit, but I feel like she's being a little dramatic about that. And she's like, people don't listen to me. And I'm like, girl, everybody listens to you. That's all. That's Leah. Like Leah, that's all you do is talk. And that's okay. But we gotta know it. Then Rubina expresses something she's expressed through a lot of the game where she feels as though people don't listen to her. And Rubina does get interrupted a lot when she's in a group. And she gets interrupted by people like Leah, ironically. And Leah asks, do I like do that? Am I like? And of course, Rubina can't say yes. You're the number one. Yes. Okay. Not only Tucker, my showmance, kind of did that. He had to be the star, but you too. Hashtag you too. So she was like, no, not you. And Leah said, oh yeah, because I hate when like people do that. I hate it. Like I listen. But we just heard Cam and Chelsea talking about how Leah, she doesn't listen and makes things about herself. So it was pretty interesting. Yes, Revos, hit the like. It's a free way to support the channel, and it really helps me. I was too stacked. I was manifesting Leah, Angela, some kind of chaos. So she does mention to Rubina that she's not sure what she's going to do yet, but she has an idea. And Rubina just might be a part of her plan. She kind of looks over her shoulder. So I feel like Chelsea's not completely off the table, but I feel like Leah might want to try to backdoor Chelsea, or she might want to use Chelsea as a renom option, which I hope she just puts up 2 targets straight up. Let's not mess around like that right now. And there's a good chance Chemo continues to be used as a pawn. There is a good chance Rubina, depending on how well the conversation ended up going. Obviously, I didn't get to listen to the whole conversation because they kept cutting it, and then I came live to talk to you, beautiful pumpkin spice babies. So I'm not sure, but Rubina was putting in the work, as in, what do you need anything cleared up? You are not a target. If I win HOH next week, you're not even close. Rubina actually says you would. This stays between you and I. And Leah's like, of course. I am like so trustworthy. I only tell my cat and she's not here. Okay, go ahead. Rubina said, I wouldn't even put you up first over some people that people think I might be like protecting. She kind of says something similar to that. I'm paraphrasing. So I don't know if she was implicating some of the trio in that. But Leah's like, okay, I'm listening. So Rubina also brings up that, so she's going to protect Leah. Leah's not even on the radar for her. She too, she was plugged in with Leah's feelings there, where we know that does something to a player like Leah. You do want to connect with her on an emotional level. And she was, emotionally sharing that she felt like she was left out and discarded, and people were treating her different and not listening to her. And then Rubina says, yeah, I too feel like that. She's like, oh my God. So there's a good chance she might not go on the block just because of that. She'll be like, I don't want to do that to her. Because that is literally the kind of player we've seen Leah be previously. So that could work. And also she was bringing up, again, a big portion of this season has been like representation, what you're representing. And, she talked about the Philippines and of course, Leah's like, yes, yes. My great grandmother was a quarter Japanese. I think back somewhere early in the season, Leah was talking about how maybe her great grandma, something was like part Japanese, and she was talking about that with chemo. So she didn't mention the Japanese part again, but I still remember when she did. Okay. So Kira says, don't listen to MJ, Leah. And you know what? MJ must be feeding her some stuff right now, but Leah is also expressing that she is sad that Quinn left, because she obviously, that was, someone who was always going to be down for her. She felt like it was too soon for Quinn to go. And she's wondering about the votes. So I wonder what MJ's telling her right now for why the votes went the way they did. So, oh my gosh. I hope Leah is clicking that MJ doesn't like Chelsea as a nom. Yeah. If I was Leah, I would just let that happen at this point. If I was MJ, because you're at the bottom of the Chelsea and Cam. They would definitely prioritize each other, most likely over you. So slow your roll, MJ. But MJ, she's coming in with some comp wins here, and she's, come a long way in this game, but still some of her game reads aren't always the greatest. And Leah has also had this blind spot thinking that MJ was on her side. So what Leah is going to do, she could put Chelsea straight up next to, she could put one, I think there was like a little talk of maybe one from one trio and one from the other. So that could happen. You could have a Chelsea chemo. She could do Chelsea Rubina. She could do, she could put up Cam. Sure. Because Rubina also mentioned again, every time Rubina has spoken and had gamed and, campaigned with the women in the house, she has spoken about this not unsaid, but this very, kind of fluid, loose, but often talked about idea of the Women's Alliance. Frickin' Chris Kirkpatrick. So that is something to also always keep. I love that Rubina does this to keep at the forefront of her mind, because pushing this, like, we, all us women, we're so close to being all women at the end, at the final six, just like Joleen saw when they were cheersing on girls' night. And I was like, there's our final six. We're so close. Leah's like, oh yeah, feminism and stuff. That's awesome. So keep pushing that for sure. Thank you, Miss Diamond. Yeah, 234 likes, you guys, but 900 in the chat. Hit that like, you guys. It's a free way to support the channel, and I appreciate it. Robert, dun, dun, dun. Yes, obviously, April, women are not aligned. We hate each other. Gross. Ew. Pew, pew. You take away all my period sympathy. No. So we're not aligned. We don't even like each other. So gross. Jack D65, thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to all my dogs at the crib. Always a shout out to every single one of the dogs at the crib.
Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib. Shout out all my dogs at the crib.
All right. Stack says, I think Leah will put T-Core and Chelsea on the block. And if one comes down, then MJ or Chemo goes up there. Is one from each side, and Angela chooses with her deciding vote. I mean, that is going to be hilarious if everybody has to campaign for Angela's vote. A player that they keep using the veto on in this game. Someone who, they're definitely dismissing how dangerous Angela is in this game. And this could definitely come back to bite them in the butt. And Angela knows it. I think we all have to, in my opinion, stop pretending that Angela doesn't know what she's doing. Okay? It might be messy. It's like, it might be a falling down the stairs type strategy, But Angela's not dumb. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she is doing. You don't get to 51 years old with that many kids and a marriage, being a woman in America, and you don't know how to manipulate, read, and get your way. No, no, no. So if that's the case, everyone will be campaigning, wanting Angela's vote. Angela is playing for 750K, right? Adam says Leah won't put up Chelsea or T-Core originally. Maybe not. She might be looking at it for a renom situation. And with, T-Core in the back with ice on her chest, overheated, this is a great strategy too. I don't even know if it's on purpose, but I'd do it. Oh, you're going to put up the person who is like almost dying of a heat stroke? How nice of you. I would do it too. I would just start shaking, start not making sense, get some kind of medevac in, whatever you got to do. If it's not against the rules, try it. Try it. See what happens. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Experience, KM says. Oh, okay. Lizzie says she's been on enough shows to know what to do. Right? Patty says, I think you're right, Jolene. I hope she goes in the pool. I mean, I hope T-Core is okay. But if you, T-Core, are doing this for strategy, get it. Get it. Yes, I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Yeah. And hello, it's exactly what Ashley's saying. She's been fake crying since week 1. A few times there's been tears. A little bit of snot. All of the face, but no waterworks. Yes, the majority of the time, all face, no waterworks. I love that. She should have merch after this. Chuck, if you're in the chat, write this one down. All face, no waterworks. Okay. And that is how you get your way. A woman's way, all face and no waterworks. I like that. Tommy says, that's why I think it's going to be T-Core and Chelsea on the block with Cam or Chemo as a renom for which side comes down. Could be. Could be. Robin C said the numbers are getting to a place where it'll be hard to break up the trio very soon. Yeah. So, taking a hit or taking a shot at both trios, one from each. I mean, you could argue that's not maybe the best idea for Leah. Pick a trio and stick with it, because then you got all those people coming at you. Because even for the trio that doesn't go home, you still disrupted their trio. So I would probably just pick one of the trios and go after them rather than split it up that way and make myself more of a target to 2 groups, if that makes sense. Monica, thank you for the super chat. Monica says Leah is riding high this week. They will get her out because now she's winning comps. I don't want Leah to win. I don't like the flirting strategy. I've heard that quite a bit. People don't like that. They don't like it. Yeah, it's happened so much in Big Brother that sometimes I feel like I'm immune to it, but I guess it depends on the person. I can be a hypocrite. If I don't like the person, then I don't like that strategy. But if they don't bother me too much, then I'm like, whatever. Sean says, I can't lie. I love this turn of events. The chaos and the craziness are my faves. Me too. It's my fave too. I was hoping that it wasn't just going to be, like MJ or Cam winning and you keep the power with that group. I was hoping there'd be some kind of, some kind of chaos, and we got it. And now also they were completely like discounting Leah. And I love when you see someone come back like this. It's a very, I don't want to get too crazy, but it's a very, Janelle move. Now her number 1 ally has gone home. Well, technically Leah, 2 of her allies have gone home, and now she wins the HOH, give me the key, bitch. And Maggie, who am I going to put on the block? Yvette, Maggie, Jennifer, so love that. And just when you think they're done, because it was, Cam even said, no, Leah's not going to win. Once Quinn is gone, she's done. And Leah's like, I'm sorry. The old Leah's not home right now. Why? Because she's dead. You guys killed her. And I've been resurrected as now a powerful beast mode competition threat that is going to win a 10-hour endurance comp. That's crazy. That is crazy. So Rob says, I like flirting. Go Leah. Smart to keep her intelligence until now also. Oh, to keep it like you think she's keeping on the DL. On the DL. So all we know is most likely Angela's safe. All right. And everyone else is up for grabs. Everyone else can kind of get it. You know? And it could even be this young lady could be getting it. Because I don't know. I'll have to watch her conversation she's had with Leah. But hopefully Leah now sees that MJ can't be trusted by Leah. The information that Leah gives her, she just brings it right back to Chelsea and Cam. So stop telling our stuff. All right. We'll see. I mean, this week is going to be interesting. Hopefully the feeds, we get feeds. They don't get cut like the last kind of outdoor Dire Fest thing, but we're in the Janky world. I'm sure the POV is going to be some kind of carnival competition. I'm sure we're going to have a interesting edited episode on Sunday, and also, well, probably more on Wednesday, of them living outside in this heat. Because I don't know if I know at night it cools down quite a bit in LA. Like tonight, I think it'll be in the 60s. But until then, they're out there and it's hot. And the porta potties, it's day one. They haven't even like slept out there, had a full night's sleep out there, and the porta potties are already stanking. And they're going to be tired. They're going to be cranky. They're going to be dehydrated. We got T-Core with ice on her chest. We have Cam putting his head in the freezer. We have Angela going, we just can't survive on pizza and ice cream throughout the whole week. Meanwhile, Chemo is literally eating a pint of ice cream like, this is the best day of my life. So they'll definitely get on each other's nerves. And we'll see what happens with the... Now, Leah mentioned this morning that the nomination ceremony is tomorrow. But I think she's screwed up just because they haven't really slept and with this endurance comp. So I think it's probably just later tonight that Big Brother will call her in, because Saturdays are usually it's always the Power Veto competition. Then Sunday is kind of the gaming and strategy that goes on to see if, the veto is going to be used, what's going to happen at the POV ceremony on Monday. So that would throw off the balance. So I think she's confused. Okay, so she did correct herself, because I was like, Leah, I don't think that's right. Even MJ was like, what? So I'm sure it'll be a later one today, because normally in the past 2 weeks, they've already went to, by this time during the day, they already, the feeds were already down for the nomination ceremony. But, they were up all night doing this endurance comp, and so they didn't get a ton of sleep. So I think that they're just going to move it to later in the day, which is good, because I feel off too, staying up till 3 a.m. I'm too old for this shit. I can't be staying up. I should have just went to bed. All right, let's talk about this dude and what happened last night when he was leaving the Big Brother house and getting interviewed by Jerry O'Connell, super fan H of H himself, Jerry O'Connell, and Rubina tried to give him a friendship bracelet. Apparently the friendship bracelet says jury duty. Rubina has a bunch of these friendship bracelets. She's been, giving them away through the season. She gave this one to him, and he was like, I don't want that. No, I don't want it. But then he ended up being like, all right, just give it to me, after he made this eviction speech that confused most of the house guests who aren't super fans of the show.
House guests, Kangaroo Jack, I want to be here. And it's not because most of you have said this week that you would like to kiss or marry me. It's because this has been a dream of mine since I was super young. From Brittany losing her dignity on a hot dog, to DJ Showtime talking about a crock pot on Instagram. This light has been a light in my life, and I'm so thankful to share it with each and every one of you. In this game, I feel my story parallels that of Icarus, flying so close to the sun and then plummeting to the earth at 12,000 miles per hour. And with each conversation and memory made, I can feel the wind beneath my wings, and my trajectory in this game does change, but the destination is the same. Eviction. Keep me this week so I can go home before you next week. Please, thank you, I love you. You're so handsome, and I was named after you in Sliders. Thank you, I yield my time.
He yields his time. Now, what I missed last night is that Bette Midler reference. I did like that. The wind. You are the wind beneath my wings. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Oh, okay. So I like that part. But otherwise, I was like, okay, come on. We didn't need We could have, that should have been toward your fellow house guests. Use that time to really stay in the house. All right. So he got asked about that. I believe this is from the Sharon Tharp or Mike Bloom interview. They asked, what did Rubina give you as you were walking out the door, and why did you not want it? And Quinn said, Rubina tried to give me a friendship bracelet after I had just been evicted. And I was so annoyed, not with her, but just the audacity to be like, hey, I know you just got voted out. Here's a gift. And then it's like, I read it and it says jury duty on it. And I was like, are you dunking on me right now, bro? Get out of my face, dude. But when I saw her reaction of disappointment that I wasn't going to take it, I had to put my personal disappointment with the situation aside and accept the gift. Whether it's her being malicious, iconic, or her just being genuinely being kind, it's appreciated. Yeah, I was just so raw with emotions that when she's offering me something, I'm like, girl, get out of my face. I need to cry. This is a lot for me. Yeah, it's just a bracelet. That said, jury duty on it. And I see people going, see, oh yeah, Quinn. No, I still think it's weird, this, kind of grudge he holds on Rubina when he's just, has no smoke for Leah. And it's almost like Rubina is taking, catching strays over Tucker. I think it's weird. I think it's misplaced. I think it's jerkish. I mean, she really was, it's not even like fun to watch. She really was trying to be nice, give him a bracelet. That's how Rubina is. Rubina has went out of her way to make sure he felt okay with his decision to, wear her skirt and get rid of her showmance. And I feel like Rubina's had to answer for the crimes of Tucker. And it'd be one thing if she was like a co-conspirator with him, but she wasn't. She was usually like, what are you doing, Tucker? When she didn't like some of the game moves. And instead of like, say it to him, you're going to take it out on his girlfriend. Like, it just seems lame. I feel like I've seen this type before. And I know I'm doing a lot with this, but it's like, I'm yay women, but really you're only yay women to the ones you want to bang. Okay. You might have the long sensitive hair and the Harry Potter glasses and the corduroys and the turtlenecks. But I see what you're doing over here. You're not gonna get one over on old Joleen. All right. I've seen your type before, sir. And it's just weird and awkward. And I think unnecessary. It felt like, because Rubina was never really like fighting back. It wasn't like a good adversarial type relationship. It was like her being nice, trying to game, and then him always being like, Rubina. And talking shit. And then with this bracelet, I just wanted to kick him in his corduroys. I'll tell you that. You can be mad that you are going to jury, but be mad at your damn self because you simped for Leah. You basically said you knew that she was bad for your game, that she would put you up, all these things. And you're like, I don't care. I love her. Like, this is damn Love Island. Okay, I get it. We have showmances. Okay. But she didn't even want to hold your hand. She didn't even she barely gave you a hug leaving. She don't want to give you no smoochies. They tried to make us believe that she got a crush on him in last night's episode. But did we hear her say, I have a crush on Quinn? No, we didn't. And one of you lovely people from the Lean team hit me up over on Twitter and said, I was trying to tell by her nails, I feel like they used a DR from her when she was previously saying she had a crush on Tucker, which she did. And she was pretty vocal about. And they used that to put in Quinn's edit. I don't think that woman said that. And if she did, I'm going to have to hear her say, I, Leah, of sound mind, am not being forced to say this. I'm not under the influence. Do have a crush on Quinn. Now, someone on Twitter said, although you can't tell by the nails, check her roots because she's not a natural blonde, nor am I. And when I went back and watched, I'm just going to say the hair looked fresh when she was talking about a crush. It didn't look 50 some days in. Also, someone on Twitter clocked that the sweatshirt she was wearing, now this is the important things that we focus on for Big Brother. The sweatshirt she was wearing was one she hadn't worn in a while. So I think we're right. Big Brother again, they love their showmances. They're going to just make something up. This wouldn't be the first time they've lied to us. Okay. Yes, Kara seeing it. The hair was definitely different. Definitely different. Mm-hmm. Even with sun in, you can hide these roots. You can hide these roots. She could have, some of that like chalky spray stuff, but still, no, I don't buy it. I don't buy it, sir. I don't buy it, big brother. You're lying to us. You lied to me. You lied to me. Angela says Quinn's hair or curls looked less frizzy in his exit interviews. Thank you. Quinn thanks you. Yeah. So DGF said those Harry Potter glasses are the antithesis of grown and sexy. Grown and sissy. We all forgive the faults of the people we like. Yeah, we do. We do. And I'm not a fan of Quinn. I'm sure he's a lovely individual, and I hope the best for him in life. But the way he's handling the Rubina things, and I know he's forgiving the faults of Leah because he, gets a rager in the cager for him. But yeah, lots. I mean, if anyone knows an unnatural blonde, I do. As someone who is a natural brunette, I know. And then I started going gray, and it's a lot easier to blend your grays with blonde than it is brown or red hair, which I would dye my hair red all the time. So Mag says there's screenshots of the feeds last Sunday with Leah in that sweatshirt that I saw on Twitter. I think it's AI, Mag. Just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. You can't. I'm going to die on this conspiracy theory hill. Nia says you might have a long, sensitive hair and Harry Potter glasses and the corduroys and the turtlenecks. Yep, I know you're dressing the part. You're dressing the part, but Thank you. I never thought I could pull off blonde until I got older and started getting gray hair, and then I did blonde. So Savannah says, nah, dude, I liked Quinn, but he made my stomach turn with how he treated Rubina last night. And it just was like an ongoing thing. Like, I'm okay. House guests don't have to like each other. But I'm like, this just seems completely unmerited. It just seems ridiculous. You put her on the block. You wore her skirt and voted out her person. You were flirting with her when Tucker was around. So this could also be a case of maybe his first choice was Rubina. And then he feels as though she chose Tucker over him because there's lots of proof early on, even though he says, you're like a little sister to me, but she's older than him. But I guess she's 4'9", so she's shorter than him because he's 5'1". So she's a little shorter. No, I think he's 5'6", but he could be 5'1" as well. He does wear platform Doc Martens, as do I. And they do give you some good height. But maybe that's the case. And if that's the case, then that makes it even worse that he's taking it out on her. But there's just this, it doesn't sit right in my spirit. Okay. And when Julie Chen says love one another, I don't always want to do it, obviously, but he is not loving one another. So April says he's butthurt. He strikes me as the type that gets his way. Well, NYC girl, I think in his defense on this one, NYC girl, I also don't like him saying Brittany lost her dignity on a wiener. Excuse me, sir. I get what you're saying, but he's repeating Brittany's joke. Brittany uses that joke of herself. She's like, I lost my dignity on a slippery wiener during her competition in BB12. And then she brought it up again on Reindeer Games. So I think that's just him repeating it. So I don't think that is him being like gross in any way. He's just he's a fan, and that is just like now an iconic line. So I won't drag him down to the depths of hell for that. And that was a joke. And I can get down with jokes. Yeah. Kira says, I remember I dyed my hair honey blonde and my hair was so dry, never again. You definitely have to, going blonde and bleach and all the things can really dry out your hair. And then they started inventing these things that help you to keep it moisturized, but sometimes I still get dry. One time I put so much, I was doing a little too much of the bleach because I wanted it iced out because I like the icy look. And I was missing some hair. I'll be honest with you guys. And I went back to Minnesota to my best friend's mom who did my hair since I was little. And she was like, you are literally missing hair. And I was like, whoops, oopsies. Okay, maybe I'll take a little break. Mina says, I feel like you're creating a false narrative of Quinn based off your dislike of his appearance. No, I don't dislike his appearance at all. I just make little jokes about him trying to look like a sensitive guy. But if anything, I'm an Aquarius, so his style is, yeah, I like that. So no. So I get what you're saying, Mina, but just remember, most of this is sarcasm and jokes, but also some of it is me giving him a side eye going, why is he treating Rubina like that? I didn't like it. And as much as he says he loved Rubina, he took a lot of shots at her that I think were just unnecessary, in my opinion. Stephanie says, off topic, but as a new subscriber, the fact that you just sung Return of the Mac confirmed you are my sister girl, only in my mind. That's just how I think in pop culture references and musical lyrics, mainly from the 90s and early 2000s. Thank you, Tabby, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Very, very much. Bright Art says, Quinn adored Rubina. Listen to conversations between him and Leah. He despised her. I think in the beginning he adored her. And you could tell. And then when Tucker was around, he did this thing where he would be like looking at her or laying on her. But I think he did not adore her. And he started to really dislike her. And so, but I mean, that's the beauty of this game. We all see things differently, but obviously I am biased because of, we all come into this bias with our previous experiences and what we like and what we don't like and how we read things. It can be very subjective. So I appreciate seeing the other side of the coin. And maybe, there are times I realize that I can be maybe go a little too hard in the roast on some of the house guests, but for the most part, I think they deserve it. No. Lulu, thank you for the super sticker. That was so sweet of you. I appreciate that very much. Angela Clark Little says, Leah is such a wild card. We saw that with her veto to save Angela. So this will be an interesting week. It will be an interesting week. And I think we could see anything happening. And I think this week, campaigning is going to be very important. This week, having open conversations with Leah, listening to Leah, connecting with her on an emotional level is important. Really plugging into the kind of what she responds to and the kind of person she is, which I felt that Rubina was doing. I felt that Cam was doing a good job of implicating the trio. And he has this previous kind of flirty relationship with Leah, and I know they haven't done that in a while, and now it's MJ and Cam, and Leah moved on to, Joseph and Quinn being her simps in the game. But Leah has mentioned that Cam doesn't really talk to her anymore. So I think him talking more to Leah is only going to help him. So we'll see. Ready Player One says, when Quinn was little, even his imaginary friends didn't want to play with him. Poor Quinn. I'm sure he has lots of great imaginary friend house guests. Yes. Red Dirt. TKR, T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina might be in trouble. They could definitely be in trouble this week. Stack says, I hope this Leah-Chelsea combo, or you have hope for this Leah-Chelsea combo. Remember, Leah has the plan with Angela since last Monday and said she is a huge grudge holder. That's the thing. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. David, thank you for the super chat. David says, is this time to get Chelsea out next? Do they get someone else out? The new Joker movie starts October 4th. Yes, I saw the previews for the new Joker movie. So October, that is coming up. We are already well into September. Okay, so I think at any time is a good time to get a player like Chelsea out because there's a good chance you're not going to beat her at the end. So I don't want Chelsea to go. I would prefer, honestly, one of the guys to go because I do have this vision of the final six being women. But as much as I don't want Chelsea to go, it would be a good game move, I think, for her. And it would be a huge play. Because then she pulls in MJ, hopefully pulls in Cam, and then they can go Maybe after the trio. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Chelsea's a well-rounded player. She's smart. She's strategic. So going after her, it's not going to be easy to get her out, you know. But I think that it would be very, very. It would look good on Leah's resume. So, yep, like Otter says, if you want to win, you got to get Chels out. She's good. She is good. NYC Girl says, Leah loves to say, I'm not a dum-dum. I see what's going on. So we'll find out if that's true. Also, a couple of the game conversations I've listened to have already been kind of painful because, no offense, all offense, but like Leah the likes are just so many. A plethora of likes. Too many likes. When she was talking to Cam, it was like every other word. And then I think so what I think I'm going to do, it's with speaking of likes, let's get to 500 likes on this video, 900 people watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ready Player One always gets me laughing. Angela's well-rounded too. Did you see her twerking? Yeah, that was a well-rounded twerk. 100%. And Chelsea wins comps. And she's strategic. And she's been a part of some big alliances. And she's come back after having her alliances blown up. So she's rose again like a phoenix. What Brooklyn, if we go back to Brooklyn, what she was unable to do is, keep moving forward in the game. She was pissed, and Chelsea was pissed too, but Chelsea had a much better way of hiding it, playing the game, putting her head down, getting to work to ultimately get her revenge. And now she has seen Tucker go and she's seen Quinn go. Quinn blew up the Pentagon. And, Tucker sent, a lot of her friends packing. So Chelsea's getting her revenge. Chelsea has a great story at Final Two. If she makes it to Final Two, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, Brooklyn, Angela says, didn't do well with hiding her emotions. Ronald says, Leah should get one of the trio before the trio begins winning HOHs back-to-back. That wouldn't be a bad move either. I think if I was Leah, I would pick one of the trios to target, and I would just go with that. I wouldn't divide it with the two trios, but that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys would do. I just feel like that's adding even more of a target to her. I mean, at this point of the game, and now that she's won, 2 competitions, the target's already there, but that's what I would do. Stack says, I'm waiting for Leah and Angela combo, but I see Rabina and Tico are having a serious scared combo. Yes, listen to that. We'll check it out. Okay. Chemo and Cam for the block. That'll kind of be amazing. No offense. No offense, all offense to Chemo and Cam, but let's just keep it going. Let's keep sending the men home. Let's let the women free bleed. And then they can have a pot after the show.
And if you guys have a pot, I'm going to have a pot too. Kiss Cam.
Best time of your life.
Oh!
I did like that part last night. Chelsea's like, kiss Cam, and Cam goes, best time of your life. Best time of your life. That was sick nasty.
You're sick nasty.
You're sick nasty. So that's what is going on right now, you guys. I usually take Saturdays off, but you never know. This might be a Saturday that I will be back talking about what is going on, especially since I don't yet know who is on the block. So most likely you might see me tomorrow. You might see me. I'll miss you guys so much. But thank you to everyone for participating in the live chat. Shout out to my mods, my members, my Patreon supporters, everyone who smashed that like. Thank you so much. Shout out to my super chatters, Flavia, Jack, Monica, Tabby Lynn. Thank you so much. Lulu Adams and David Cushmore. You guys are all wonderful, beautiful pumpkin spice babies. But if I do go live, it'll probably be a little later tomorrow because I have to go to Los Angeles tonight for a show. So there's going to be a lot of driving, and I stayed up till 3 a.m. like a dumb dummy waiting for this HOH competition to be done. So leave a comment after the video posts. If you guys could put in the comment section who you want Leah to put on the block and who you hope goes this week. Follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer everywhere. And like I always say, enjoy yourself because it's later than you think. Bye.
If you like what you see.